Here are 3 anonymized examples. Student A was interested in medicine. Before, her resume was unfocused, random volunteering, a science fair entry. After narrative building, she reframed her story around community health. Her activities now include a campaign to bring health fairs to the underserved, and her essays focus on a clinic volunteer moment and a passion for biomedical research. Her recommenders, a doctor she shadowed and her biology teacher, highlight her sympathy and curiosity. She's now targeting pre-med programs at Harvard and Yale. Student B always loved engineering. Initially, he listed robotics club and coding, but he hadn't tied it together. After his narrative is innovation and mentorship, now he can talk about how he led a robotics research team that taught younger students, and his essays with building a robot prototype. Recommendation letters from his robotics coach and math teacher stress his technical talent and leadership. He's aiming for MIT and Stanford's engineering programs. And then finally, we have student C. Student C was a humanities student who loved debate and writing. We helped her find a unifying thread of storytelling for social change. She started a literary magazine focusing on social justice, and her personal statement vividly narrates giving a speech on immigration issues. Her English teacher and debate coach write about her voice and critical thinking. She targets schools like Princeton and Stanford for government or English. Each of these after profiles shows all elements: interests, extracurriculars, essays, recommendation letters, aligned under one theme. This table compares how their narratives come together. Notice how the theme guides every part. Even if you apply to 20 different top schools, the principle is the same. Tell one clear story through your interests, activities, and words. So the next section, we can think about it as do's and don'ts. So here's a quick do and don'ts list. Do be authentic. So write a story that only you can tell. Your narrative must sound like you. Use vivid details. Paint a picture of your experience. Keep a clear focus of your theme everywhere. As we saw, a good narrative provides insight into your perspective. Don't fall back on overused phrases or unrelated bragging. For example, saying you have a passion for helping people is easy, but show it through a story instead. Don't include activities just to pad your resume if you don't connect to your theme. If those things that you're talking about don't connect to your theme. And definitely proofread. Admissions officers notice typos. Lastly, any unethical shortcuts, make sure that you avoid those. Every part of the application should be your own work. And then finally, we have the checklist, which includes actionable steps. So action items, use this checklist as your roadmap. Start with honest self-reflection. That's going to be number 1. And research of college's need. That's going to be number 2. Align your junior year and senior year courses and extracurriculars around your theme. So what I tell students a lot of the time is freshman year and sophomore year are more experimental. It's your time to really try out different clubs and see, if you're interested in those things. Whereas junior year and senior year, now you can really specialize. You have to kind of narrow down what your interests are so that you can really focus on that and build them, which is going to help you on your applications. Align your junior year, senior year courses and extracurriculars around your theme. Begin drafting essays early, possibly over the summer. Number 4, share drafts with trusted mentors, but remember your voice must shine through. Keep a timeline of all deadlines and interview dates. Finally, remember that your narrative can evolve. As you have new experiences, tweak your theme so that it always has the best of you. So now the next section we are going to talk about is insider secrets. So these are going to be some tips to consider. Finally, a few insider tips. Admissions officers do read essays carefully. They've read thousands and thousands of essays, so they have an intuition on these things. They notice a detailed scene or a heartfelt reflection. If you have a mundane sounding activity like weekly piano practice or helping siblings, frame it. Even a mundane duty can reveal character. One recent trend, top colleges have ended test optional policies. This means high test scores now further strengthen your academic profile. You can think of them as one more part of your narrative's evidence. Another secret still is going to be colleges don't want templated answers. When writing supplements about why school X, be genuine. Don't just list well-known facts. Show a course or lab that will help you follow your own story. And then finally, one more tip. Create an outline for each essay. Make sure each prompt you answer highlights a different angle of your narrative. So a lot of the time I tell students that the value of reading a book per se is that it can add a new perspective on something. So for instance, if you want to read a book on engineering and you want to be an engineering student, that will give you a different angle that you can use because you'll see things through the eye of an engineer. That way your story stays fresh. In short, treat your application like a puzzle. Each piece, your essay, activity, or recommendation letter should fit together in a clear picture that an admissions officer will remember. So now let's talk about some additional sources that you might be able to consider for further information on this topic. So in summary, building a cohesive narrative is about connecting the dots of your experiences. We've seen that a unified story from your favorite classes to your leadership role to your essays can make a strong impression in this ultra-competitive landscape. We've drawn on reliable data. For example, MIT emphasizes they admit people, not numbers. And Harvard and Stanford's offices report acceptance rates in the low single digits, actually. So like 3 or 4% around there. To learn more, consult the sources we have went over, including official admissions websites and reputable publications such as the Harvard Crimson or Inside Higher Ed. So I just wanted to conclude by saying thank you for your attention. Take these steps and examples to heart. Start planning now and let your unique story shine. If you have any questions or any guidance, WinMay is here to help. So I wish you a lot of luck. And just to recap everything, sometimes you have multiple interests, and in those cases, things get a little bit more complicated if you're trying to find an overall theme. But I think it's easier to look at the connection because sometimes they're not the same thing, but they have a lot of parallels and similarities. So that's why you want to work on your themes. You want to fill out that template so that way you can start finding these types of connections. And with that, I conclude today's meeting. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
感谢 Mr. Pierre 今天和我们的分享。你有任何的问题呢，都可以直接来咨询文美集团。美国文美集团，美国大学申请规划服务第一品牌，20年经验，万博士领衔常春藤顾问团队，中美双顾问模式服务一个学生，按照大学录取学校排名收费，与孩子形成利益共同体。华人老品牌，值得您的信赖。文美集团隆重推出 ACAP 大学专业及职业测评规划管理系统，华人升学机构首创，完美解决华人学生最大升学痛点。人工智能提前锁定大学专业方向，提前2到5年布局申请。有了专业测评系统，孩子的课程规划更清晰，活动更聚焦，文书更有故事感，大学申请更有竞争力。5到11年级学生都可以报名参加测评。文美集团1对1非营利组织成立运营领导力项目，让孩子从参与者变为领导者，真正成长、成人、成才、进名校。5到11年级学生均可报名参加。文美集团社会影响力联合国网络义工课程，节省孩子时间，做名校认可的社会影响力，高大上义工。5到11年级学生均可报名参加。感谢大家今天的收看，我们下次再见。